Route 66, Route 66. We'll drive around the classic cars, pick up chicks and biker bars. It doesn't matter where we are, as long as we're on Route 66, Route 66.
Insane Sam back again to help you finish up the second leg of the third day of your Route 66 road trip. Now that you made it through Springfield, your trip's going to start to go a little faster because there are fewer twists and turns and you can really make good time. But before we get going, let's make sure you get this segment's directions. Even though there's Route 66 signs everywhere, they can be inaccurate and confusing, and without a good set of directions, you're going to get lost. Go to Route66MC.com, go to the right-hand column on the home screen and find Get Directions. Put in Springfield, Missouri in the Leaving From box and Joplin in the Heading To box. Click on Get Directions and turn-by-turn directions between those two places are going to pop up. Let's get going. We finished up on Highway 266 heading out of Springfield. From here it's smooth sailing on good roads through fertile Missouri farmland to Halltown. Tiny Halltown is only 0.2 square miles in area, but it's been a community since 1833. In the late 1940s, it had over 20 places, including gas stations, cafes, antique shops, a whole bunch of stuff. Today, about the only thing that's left is Relics and the Whitehall Mercantile, which is now an antiques place. It wasn't open last couple of times I've been through there. But keep going straight through Halltown to Paris Springs. Nearby, you're going to come to Paris Springs Junction, which was established with the commissioning of Route 66, and it died with its decommissioning. Right around here, you're going to come about Gay Paritas, which is a replica of an early 20th century Sinclair station. The stone ruins of the original garage are on the property. This is a ready-made photo op with really nice folks running the place. On your way to Spencer, you're going to go across a bridge that was built in 1922. The roadway through Spencer is claimed to be one of only 4 stretches of the original Route 66 pavement that's never been repaved or widened. I have no clue where the other 3 might be. Spencer is the best kept ghost town on Route 66, and it's been a ghost town twice. It was founded in the 1870s when a post office opened there, but it was a ghost town by 1912. It had a big resurgence when Route 66 came through, but it became a ghost town again after Route 66 was realigned to bypass the town. After Spencer, you're going to go through Heatonville, Albatross, Phelps, Rescue, Plew, Avilla, and then you'll get to Carthage. All of those are ghost towns until you get to Carthage, but there's still a couple of cool sights along the way. Heatonville has some old Route 66 relics, including the abandoned D.L. Morris garage and station. Albatross was founded after Route 66 was established, and it started as a stop for the Albatross bus lines, and at one time it had 6 gas stations. It may be in the middle of nowhere today, but at least it has the Route 66 Tavern, which is an old school biker destination. Plew has erected a bunch of Burma-shave-style signs with fire and brimstone religious messages. I don't want to break down anywhere near there. It seems like a creepy place. As bumps in the road go, Avilla is a pretty big one. Avilla is home to the Route 66 Cafe, and bikers from all over the world make a point of stopping there. There's a 1950 bank building there that's now housing the U.S. Post Office. Avilla had a wild Civil War record. Confederate raider Bloody Bill Anderson, who was one of Quantrill's raiders, led an attack on Avilla's Union supporters, and he killed a bunch of them. The Union Army later came and took control of Avilla and based a headquarters there. Between Avilla and Carthage, you're going to see a small Route 66 sign on your left directing you to take that left. Be sure to do it. You're going to pass by the Red Rock Apartments on your right. Local legend has it that Bonnie and Clyde once stayed there, and it might well be true because Bonnie and Clyde were all over this part of Missouri. Just before you come into Carthage, on your right you're going to pass by the Crap Duster, which is a flying manure spreader created by local artist Lowell Davis, who's a really nice guy. This sculpture reportedly was dedicated to a local business who Davis thought was full of, you get it. Davis has erected a replica ghost town he calls Red Oak 2, a few miles northeast of Carthage. It's a little bit off your beaten path, but worth visiting. Davis grew up in the original Red Oak, which is now a real ghost town. Lowell moved and restored buildings from that original Red Oak, and he's now added other buildings. And what he'll tell you is that this little community he's built is its own piece of art, and each building is part of that artwork. So he's put in a Phillips 66 station, an old schoolhouse, a feed store, a diner, a town hall, and a blacksmith shop. And he himself lives in the house where notorious female outlaw Belle Starr once lived. Carthage has an impressive town square featuring the Jasper County Courthouse, which was built in 1894. But the real cool thing for Route 66 fans is the Boots Court, which opened up about a block off the town square in 1939. It was the big, most modern Route 66 motel in the country because it had a radio in every single room. For years, the Boots Court had a false roof that wasn't the original and a sign that said Boots Motel that wasn't original. But the false roof has been removed, and the new Boots Court sign is a replica of the original. They have 5 restored rooms from its 1946 annex, and the plan is to restore the whole place. Now, this is an authentic Route 66 experience, but man, it's like Gilligan's Island. No phone, no light, no motor cars. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no TV, there's nothing like that. But they still have an AM radio in every room, and it works. You can listen to AM stations through there. Jim's Bar is the bar to go to just off the square. It's been there for 35 years and is in a 125-year-old building. Plus, the place is haunted. Employees will tell you stories about plates flying around the kitchen and other stuff like that, all kind of unexplained incidents. And if you go on YouTube, then search the words Ghost Orb YouTube Best. A video of Jim's will pop up and you can see this orb floating around inside the bar. It's kind of creepy. On your way out of town, you're going to go by the Route 66 Drive-In Theater, which has been named the best drive-in theater in America. Brooklyn Heights is the next town, and it's so small there's no town sign telling you you're even there. And when you go through there, you're going to wind up in Carterville, which once was a major mining community, but it went into decline after World War I when lead and zinc mines were closed up. By the 1940s, it was already a ghost town while Route 66 was still booming. But for some refreshing summer fun, you can stop in at the Super Tam on 66 Ice Cream Parlor. The bars to hit there are the 66 Sports Bar and Restaurant and the Longhorn Bar and Grill. The next town is Webb City. It's a pretty cool little town. It has a neat neon sign with an arrow pointing to the downtown area. And near that sign, you're going to find a monument to local miners and some giant praying hands. The last town in this part of your ride is Joplin. In March 1932, Bonnie and Clyde were hiding in an apartment over a garage on Oak Ridge Drive near 34th Street in Joplin. Local residents told the police about suspicious activity, and on April 13th, a 5-man squad armed with handguns went to the apartment expecting to find some bootleggers there. Boy, did they make a mistake. There was a gunfight, and Clyde and Buck Barrow were armed with Browning automatic rifles, and 2 policemen were killed. The gang escaped, but they left all their possessions, including a poem that Bonnie had written called Suicide Sal, and there was a camera with several rolls of film left behind. This film turned out to have the now famous photos of Bonnie and Clyde brandishing weapons and the famous photo of Bonnie posing in front of a car smoking a cigar and holding a pistol. This house is now available for nightly rent, and if you want to try something historic and offbeat, check it out and stay there. Now some places to eat, drink, and sleep. Wilder's on Main Street is one of my favorite Route 66 spots. This was a former speakeasy and steakhouse. The original owner had a painting of him and his wife hanging in the restaurant, but when he found out she was cheating on him, he had the painting redone just to paint her out of it. And you can still see that painting hanging on the wall in the bar. The current owners found some postcards in perfect condition in the attic showing Wilder's in the 1930s. Ask to see one, and if you're lucky, you may get to keep it. The good biker spot on the edge of town is Turtle Heads. It's a good bar with live bands, tiki bar, patio out back, good spot. Now here's a warning though. Joplin police are notorious. They're all over town all the time, and they'll pull folks over for any minor infraction, real or manufactured. Don't risk it. I check into a Holiday Inn and I Uber it everywhere I go. Okay, this is the end of your third day on Route 66. Tomorrow you're going to go all the way through Kansas and over half of Oklahoma on some really beautiful riding. But before you get to the next video, hit the subscriber button so you'll get notifications of when I post new videos and you get other info you might otherwise miss. Also, leave your comments on this video. I'll read them and do my best to personally respond to them. Okay, Insane Sam out, and we'll be seeing Oklahoma tomorrow.